The streets of Mexico smoldered with smoke and fear before dawn, as the nation once again glimpsed the raw brutality of its decades-long drug war, this time sparked by the death of one of the most feared criminals in the world. Late on February 22, in the misty highlands of Tapalpa, Jalisco, Mexican security forces struck in a military operation against Nemesio Ruben Oscura Cervantes, better known as El Mencho, the elusive head of the Jalisco New Generation Cartel CJNG, a criminal empire built on murder, extortion, and the trafficking of massive quantities of fentanyl, methamphetamine, and heroin into the United States. For years, intelligence agencies had hunted him. The U.S. Treasury and State Department offered millions in rewards, labeling the CJNG a terror-linked organization because of its ruthless tactics and vast international reach. On that Sunday, troops encountered heavy resistance as they closed in. The cartel fighters fought back with weapons seized from caches hidden across the rugged terrain. El Mencho was wounded in the chaos and later died while being airlifted for medical treatment, according to government sources. News of his death didn't bring calm, it detonated a wave of terror. Across Jalisco, Guanajuato, Michoacán, Nayarit, Tamaulipas, and beyond, CJNG operatives and allied gangs responded with calculated ferocity. Roads were blocked. Public buses, cars, and trucks were set ablaze. Major thoroughfares turned into choke points of smoke and flame as cartel foot soldiers tried to obstruct military movements. In Guadalajara, Mexico's second-largest city, streets emptied as residents huddled inside, schools were canceled, public transit suspended, and local authorities urged civilians to remain indoors. Across the Pacific coast in Puerto Vallarta, a popular international resort town, panic spread as travelers rushed terminals, and several airlines suspended flights amid mounting security concerns. Governments from the United States and Canada issued emergency advisories, asking their citizens to shelter in place and avoid travel to multiple Mexican states amid the intensifying unrest. To understand the darkness this event has unleashed, you must look beyond one man. The CJNG wasn't merely a criminal syndicate, it was a state within a state. It carved territories with bomb-laden drones, deployed encrypted networks, bribed officials, and enforced its will with indiscriminate violence. Entire towns lived under its thumb, families vanished without trace, ordinary citizens were forced to pay war taxes or face disappearance. El Mencho's death denies cartel followers their symbolic figurehead, but it doesn't end the terror. Already, factions and lieutenants jockey for control, and splinter groups threaten to ignite turf wars across Mexico's heartland. The government's victory could be a harbinger of even darker days, as criminal networks retaliate and fracture into more unpredictable forces. In communities caught in the crossfire, the death toll is rising silently. Soldiers and National Guard members were wounded and hospitalized during the operation. Local reports indicate civilians have been murdered execution-style in cartel reprisals. In Jalisco alone, estimates show dozens of roadblocks, dozens of fires, and innumerable families who spent the night listening for the pop-pop of gunfire instead of the lullabies of sleep. Parents barricade doors, school closures paint ghostly hallways, markets stand half-empty as whispers circulate: is the violence over or just beginning? For Mexican authorities, the death of El Mencho is a strategic win, the most significant blow against cartel leadership in years, comparable to the capture of Joaquin El Chapo Guzman. But analysts warn that decapitating a cartel doesn't end its influence. It often ignites a hydra effect where regional commanders, motivated by self-preservation or ambition, fracture into unpredictable cells. Violence can multiply when power vacuums appear. On the streets, there is fear that this might be a turning point not toward peace but into deeper instability, closer to communal warfare where allegiances shift like sand and every night is a prayer for survival. Closing line. In Mexico today, the killing of a kingpin didn't bring closure, it brought a stark reminder. When brutality and lawlessness become entwined with everyday life, no one truly escapes the shadows.